sunny day.
Now,
There.
it is about mid-June, and we're heading over the Cascade Mountains to our favorite part of Oregon. We're going over to celebrate my 85th birthday over on our daughter's property in the southeast corner of Oregon. Up over Santiam Pass and past Hoodoo Ski Area, we head east. Down the east slopes of Santiam Pass on Highway 22, which will take us right through Bend. I see the bear grass is blooming real pretty. They're a very lacy, pretty little flower on bear grass, as well as some other flowers right on the summit of Santiam Pass. It looks like we're going to have a heavenly sunset tonight, a real nice sky show as we're through Bend and Burns and heading east. A few years ago, our daughter bought 160 acres of desert land out here, which is about 7 miles from the nearest road, although it has an old military road with an 1860s easement on it going through the property, so we don't have to worry about our road being cut off. By the time we reach the desert, the sun is being put away in the most spectacular manner that you've ever seen. The weather forecast sounded good, although there was always the possibility of afternoon thunder showers, which happens in a lot of cases out here in the low desert. Since I was raised on a ranch in Montana and trained to be a cowboy, I have back problems occasionally, and I was trimming some brush with a chainsaw and threw my back out, so I'm not getting around real good this time, but I figured I'd be better in a day or two, and I definitely didn't want to miss this. That warm, dry air of the Oregon desert feels so good on our skin as we watch the sun being put away in a really spectacular sun. We have an old camp trailer on our daughter's property for us to stay in occasionally when we get over in this area. And it just feels so good to see that sun setting right behind Steens Mountain. This property was apparently an old homestead, and they couldn't make it back through the Dust Bowl period of time. For a period of time before the Dust Bowl, there was a few wet years, and they were starting to use a lot of wheat for making commercial bread and things about that time. And then the Dust Bowl came, and I remember our relatives saying that the wheat got up only an inch or two tall and headed out, and then the grasshoppers came and chewed the heads off the wheat, and the wind blew the wheat into the cracks in the ground, so they had a total crop failure, and the grasshoppers were so bad they'd go in the house and eat the curtains off the walls. I think about the tough times of the American West during that period of time every time I see the sun setting like this. But we're not trying to farm this property or grow wheat, so we're home free. We're just using it for a place to have a little elbow room and get away from the population centers. National Geographic claims that there's less light pollution here than any place else in the world. So why not watch that strawberry moon as it comes up over the horizon with just a little sagebrush in the foreground? Slowly and steadily, the moon creeps its way up into the sky over the sagebrush-covered hills. Marge and I came early to get things straightened out and ready. We're having company, a couple people we've known for a lot of years. One of 'em is a former entertainer, and the other one is a retired judge. So we're going to have a little bit of company here. Usually it's just Marge and I by ourselves. You'd have to be made of stone to not appreciate the sight of that strawberry moon pushing its way skyward in a clear desert sky with the smell of sagebrush in the air and a calm, warm desert breeze blowing. Slowly and steadily, that strawberry moon creeps its way skyward. The reason it's called the strawberry moon, it comes up about the time the strawberries are ripe in this area. Things are very pleasant and calm tonight. Not even much of a breeze blowing as the moon makes its way up and gets behind the first of a few scattered clouds in the sky above. Not even a coyote howling. I guess they don't have time to howl now. They're taking care of their young this time of year. Very dramatic as the moon makes its way skyward underneath a small layer of clouds. It's so quiet out here. It's at least 7 miles to the nearest road, and the only thing that's out here are wild horses and wild game and us. We saw a nice bunch of 'em coming right by the property. The sky is just a little bit hazy, a little haze hanging around Steens Mountains, and there's some dust stirred up, maybe from those wild horses. The wild horses are definitely travelers. They can travel 20 miles from their feeding area to water, and they usually need water every single day. As the afternoon wore on, again a layer of clouds came over the sky, and the sun setting over the Steens Mountain again with another impressive sunset. This looks more like a scene from a Bible movie than just being a couple people being out on the desert alone. Someone asked me one time, why would you want to be out on that old dry, hot desert with nothing but sagebrush around? And I guess I could answer it by showing him this picture. The sunset is very inspiring every day, but with a few clouds, it's nothing but spine-tingling. You can gaze off into the distance and forget about the price of eggs or upcoming wars and just enjoy the sunset as the sun slowly creeps down behind Steens Mountain. The main kind of weather event we get out here is wind, and usually plenty of it. The next day, our friends show up, and we're getting ready to go out and see if we can find some of the Sunstones. And the sun's shining brightly, and I see 'em shining all over the place, so we shouldn't have any trouble getting 'em. they're a real nice little crystal to pick up, and they're not just everywhere. There's a few places out on the desert where you can pick 'em up, though, or you can go over by Heart Mountain, and there's a public free digging place over there, and you can buy 'em from a couple mines. They have a conveyor belt that they'll run 'em down, and you just pick 'em off the conveyor belt. But that's not our way. We like to go out and pick 'em off the desert between the sagebrush.
Here's something right here. I can't tell how big it is. See? Oh, there it is. Yeah, just a tiny little sliver there.
Not very exciting.
Yeah. The buckwheat is growing here in the Sunstones.
And then, out of the corner of my eye, I see the real sunstone hunter, and her name happens to be Marge. She's got some kind of a silly hat with a tail on it. She says it keeps her from getting her neck sunburned, but it shouldn't sunburn as brown as she's getting. These sunstones were originally brought up by volcanoes and in some host rock, and the host rock dissolves, leaving the sunstones on the surface here. And every year, after it rains and snows and the wind blows, it exposes new ones out, so we never seem to run out of sunstone. The trouble with taking Marge sunstone hunting, we never can get her to stop. She loves to hunt 'em so much. But she's found quite a few of 'em, and our friends are finding some too. That desert sun is starting to beat down on us pretty good, but we're finding sunstones, but we've probably got nearly enough now. We sent 'em over to an island in the Indian Ocean just off the peninsula of India. It's called Sri Lanka, and we have a place we send 'em there and get 'em faceted into various different diamond-like shapes. They're called the Oregon diamond, and they happen to be
That's like still inside a rock. See? That was still inside a rock.
Okay, got it.
Nice little box. Thank you.
It must be, must fracture from freezing. Everything's faceted. Everything's,
Yeah, well, see what they do. They come up in this matrix, and then they weather out of it.
Mm-hmm. And that's about what I got was about common size. Some of the larger ones.
Well, now we're looking for agates, and there's some great huge chunks of agate here. Is that big stone a good color?
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got some nice color. Dark.
Yeah. The wind's building now.
What?
And
Now where's my phone?
I don't know.
Oh, here it is.
We got back and got our sunstones and some agates and had a nice little trip.
You want me to put your new agate in here?
What's that? Yes, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you much.
There's so much dust out there. Enough dust it looks like Coyote Lake's gonna blow away.
Wow.
There's Tim's truck right in front of our trailer house. And Marge is
Well,
here
that's-
bossing things.
We've put up a new windsock. They only seem to last about a year out here in this wind. And the wind blows almost constantly.
There, what are you making there, Tim?
Well, I'm going to cook up some chicken. And, and red sauce and kind of put that over.
Some red sauce to go over the chicken?
Well, I'm going to cook it up with some red sauce.
Oh, that'll be good.
And put that over over some noodles.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Not too much.
Yeah.
I've got some salsa and some chips. Some chocolate chips.
Yeah, well, we can have them.
Alrighty.
So what you doing, Robert?
I am.
Making the salad?
I'm making a salad. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah.
Rush hour traffic and.
Oh, yeah.
Generally, I don't go down to Southern California.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just it's different. I have no desire to have to deal with that. I did that one time in Sacramento.
Right, and so we're having chicken and spinach salad and
Chips and dip.
chips and dip, and so we're having a really nice feast. How's your dinner, Tim?
No.
Good?
Yeah.
Whoops.
Whoops.
I'll get that.
It's
Bloody,
edible.
bloody wind's blowing things away.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's mine. I'll see how it's gonna be.
Here, I'll go get that plate that blew away.
Oh, wow. And that's chicken and noodles and spinach salad and potato chips and dip. Wow, that looks great. Marge?
It's good.
Good?
Mm-hmm.
Satisfactory?
That's great.
Great, yeah.
2 million year old volcanoes beset. Yeah, there's mudstone turned to agate. There's diamonds from the sky. There's full of buttes and there's sagebrush to the by and by. It's a long horizon out across the desert plains. There's northern Great Basin world. Here the desert takes its toll, it just keeps on ringing, it takes my soul away, it's true. I love hearing nothing but a little sigh and move the trees. What's God been eating? Getting sardine grove. With the dust in the air, I can see every single ridge line from here to there. Time in Latin America and Mexico, and I love the Mayas and the 57 language varieties in Guatemala, but this is a pair in the 90s, the late 90s I think, or early 90s. On a trip down there, I was running with this Cuban architect, and he'd be doing paintings, and I'd be writing poetry, and then I'd put my poetry on his lovely paintings of the ruins, and both of us were, were deciphering glyphs and spent a marvelous 2 weeks. This is 2 poems I wrote. One at Uxmal in the Patin region. Oh, no, not in the Uxmal in the Puc region, I think, and which is in the middle of Yucatan, then Chichen Itza, which was a major city, ancient and recent as well. There are two different ages in that city. But two poems, and they kind of split them apart, and it ended up this lovely song called Chichen Ho. And
So we want. Yep.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Love your guitar. I really do.
stucco tap so hollow sound, faint scrape blaze dissolves to stone, empty sound of city gone, but bird and breeze filter down. Mount of stone ascends to sky, sea of green mounts sock they low, thick of wall lentil carved, ascend to sky Chichen Ho. Tumbled tooth and eye of stone, fractured gods where iguanas roam. Lowest hides the gem, the key, the twining braid of eternity. Legends well from cenotes deep, the serpent's call as wizards sleep. Stone ghost warriors hear the call, echoes deep in grey stone walls. Once splendid halls had graced those hills, soft molded walls cool and filled to curve of arch, hard corner of stone. Mass and wisdom create the tone. Sheer mass lives on with spirit thick. The serpent calls as Atun slips. The wrath of time does blunt the stone, but not the gods of Poo can swoon. The jaws of change open wide, the face of man therein resides, while the mask of chocolate upturned snout still calls the wonder of life's short bow. Well, Mount of Stone ascends to sky, sea of green mount sock they low. Thick of wall lentil carved, sent to sky Chichen Ho.
Nice. Very nice.
Yucatan.
All right.
This is, now that's a lot of words, but this, I never saw on the back, she's written it, dear.
Our evening primroses are kind of outdoing themselves this morning.
Not doing anything. I guess not. That's par for the course, as they say.
Sacagawea's son that she carried on the Lewis and Clark expedition is buried near here, and he died in this safe house. He caught pneumonia swimming the Owyhee River and died here in this safe house. And the safe house, the ruins of it are still standing. A lot of it has caved in. There were shooting ports and everything in it, and they used that in times of Indian trouble out here. And he's buried within about 100 yards of here. And the next video will get. This is the end, and please subscribe. And our next video, hopefully, I'll get the one of Charbonneau's grave on it. Working cattle ranch, but they have a little area fenced off here, a historical area where the safe house was.